Welcome back, boys and girls, and now we'll begin A to Z Nature and Me, Part 2. And now we will begin with the letter M.
M is for Michael Monarch's magical migration. Michael Monarch loves sweet flowers all summer long. Sweet, sweet nectar that makes him very, very strong. First, Michael flies from the south of Mexico with 10 million friends. 3,000 miles north they go. Now, to fly 3,000 miles is quite a lot, and the mystery is they never, ever stop. Their windy, rainy trip isn't easy, you see, and there's more to this magical mystery. 10 million butterflies face fierce winds blowing. To leave the north where it is snowing. But one thing happens that we all know. They fly 3,000 miles back to Mexico. And when they get to where they're supposed to be, Michael is with 10,000 friends in one tree. Michael Butterfly says, Mexico is completely cozy for me. Sherwin says, M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. 10 million monarchs travel in February to the north. Then 10 million travel back to Mexico in the south. Can you color 13 beautiful monarch butterflies heading north, then color 13 beautiful monarch butterflies heading south?
And now turn your page and we will begin with the letter N.
N is for Sherwin's nutty nut trees. Let's join Sherwin in some nut finding fun. For Sherwin's squirrel, nuts are a must, stored in his cheeks till they almost bust. This is an oak nut. Now look at that. It looks like a cute little hat. A walnut looks like it has a big silly grin, and behind the silly grin is a nut within. A hickory nut looks like a little green ball, and it needs a good crack to open it all. You see, lots of nuts have shells and hats as hard as baseball bats. And when you plant a nut, it becomes a tree to make more nuts for squirrels than me. Sherwin says, N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. I love nuts in the morning, noon, and night. I store them in my cheeks on the left and on the right. Nuts are nutritious and yummy-licious. Can you find 14 yummy-licious nuts for Sherwin?
And we will slide over now to the letter O.
O is for oxygen. Oxygen's so important to me, and it's also important to the fish in the sea. They wiggle and jiggle all through plants and sand, and I jump and run over grass and land. We're all on this big planet, the fish and me. I live on the ground and they live in the sea. One thing we share that is quite the same, and just like you and me, it has a name. It's called oxygen, and that is our air. It's the same thing the fish and I share, because there are plants on our planets everywhere. So you see, oxygen comes to you and me from every plant and every tree that grows on the ground and in the sea. Sherwin says, O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. Breathing is on the top of my list of things to do every day. So can you find 15 breathing bubbles the fish made today?
Okay, Sherwin, let's turn our page now to the letter P.
P is for Peter and Penelope's pumpkin patch. Sherwin loves pumpkin picking time in the fall, finding pumpkins all sizes from tiny to tall. The pumpkin patch has many rows to walk up and down to find the perfect pumpkin to carve until perfect is found. Off Sherwin scurries with friends for pumpkin picking time, and he finds a big, tall, round one and shouts, "This one's mine!" Sherwin and friends return home to let the carving begin. Silly noses and triangle eyes and a big, silly, wide grin. And now there's pumpkin seed drying and frying to do, because Sherwin says Pumpkin seeds are healthy for you. Sherwin says, P is the 16th letter of the alphabet. Can you find 16 pumpkins in the pumpkin patch? Can you find pumpkins that match? Have fun and draw some favorite pumpkin faces.
Now Sherwin and I are going to slide over with you to the letter Q.
Q is for Quincy's quince. Once Quincy ate a quince. It was so sour it made him wince. Why wince when a quince you eat? Because they are never, ever sweet. A quince is similar to an apple or pear with beautiful spring blooms, but beware. Smooth are the branches of a pear to pick, but a quince has thorny thorns that prick. So when Quincy picks from his quince tree, he picks all of his quince very carefully. Sherwin says, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Can you find 17 quince in Quincy's quince tree? Can you draw 17 thorny thorns very carefully?
Okay, now you and I are going to turn our page to the letter R.
R is for Ryan and Robin's Recycle and Reuse It game. Robin and Ryan made up a fun game. Recycle and Reuse It is its name. Recycling is all about the trash we use. Glass and plastic, paper and cans are refuse that we can recycle and then again reuse. And you can make a difference by recycling, so together we can keep our planet green. Get ready to play. 1, 2, 3, toss away. Sherwin says, R is the 18th letter of the alphabet. Robin and Ryan collected 18 things for recycling. Can you circle 18 things for your recycle game?
And now we're going to slide on over to the S page.
S is for Sydney and Sammy's Sunflower Song. Sydney and Sammy sing silly songs, swinging on sunshiny sunflower Sundays, sharing their silly swinging song. Sunflowers grow toward the sun, taller and bigger than everyone. Big, big flowers with big, big seeds, yummy seeds for birds and me. We dry them, we fry them, we flip them, then share some. Sunflowers grow toward the sun, taller and bigger than everyone. Sherwin says, S is the 19th letter of the alphabet. Can you find 19 sunflowers? And how many S words can you find in Sydney and Sammy's silly songs? There are how many S words?
Hey Sherwin, now we're turning to your favorite page, the letter T.
T is for tree, and the parts of the tree have parts like me. The top of the tree has a crown like me. Sherwin said, our crown is our head. The outer bark protects the tree, just like skin protects the outside of me. My heart is in the middle of me, and heartwood is in the middle of the tree. From my trunk, my arms reach out. From a tree trunk, the branches sprout. One day I looked at my tree and said, hey, my tree looks human like me. Its roots keep the tree in the ground. My feet keep me on the ground. I have an age, my tree has an age. Each year growing higher, stage by stage. And our tree gives us oxygen. Oxygen is the air that we breathe in. When we plant more trees and they get taller, it makes our carbon footprint smaller and smaller. Sherwin says, T is the 20th letter of the alphabet. Planting a tree helps reduce toxic fossil fuel CO2 emissions. 1 gallon of gas equals 20 pounds of toxic carbon dioxide. One tree takes in 48 pounds of carbon dioxide. Plant a tree for you and me to make a change for climate change. It's the address we all share, Planet Earth. Handle with care.
Now let's turn our page and see what's going on with the letter U.
U is for under the sea. We see trees in the forest growing up to the sky, but are there trees under the seas growing high? A tree in the sea? That seems silly to me. Outside we see lots of plants and birds and trees, but we can't see what's below the deep blue seas. There are so many kinds of fish, you know, and in the dark sea, some really do glow. So here's a website that you can explore to learn what's under the sea and more. Sherwin says, U is the 21st letter of the alphabet. Fish and plants are always moving with motion. Can you find 21 fish in the deep blue ocean?
Okay, Sherwin, let's turn our page now to the letter V.
V is for Vincent and Valerie's veggies. A vegan is not somebody from outer space, said Vincent. A vegan is somebody who loves veggie in their eating space, said Valerie. And Vincent and Valerie love their veggies. So they took their compost in the spring and planted veggie everything. They made a furrow in every row, then read instructions for seeds to sow. Corn and cabbage and green beans and peas, tomatoes and squash and pumpkin seeds. And on a slope they planted cantaloupe, and for something yummy sweet they planted juicy melons to eat. Vincent and Valerie worked hard to make their garden grow and had plenty of veggies to store before winter snow. Sherwin says, V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. Veggies are so healthy for you. A mix of them all day will do. Can you find 22 veggies to circle in their summer garden? What are your favorite veggies?
And now, boys and girls, go to YouTube, A to Z Nature and Me, Part 3. And if you would like your very own A to Z Nature and Me activity book, there's a link on Facebook, A to Z Nature and Me, and you can order it there.